Everybody out there in YouTube land, this is Scott coming at you straight from Lions Den. I got another post here for y'all. I just want to show you guys something here. These are old boxes that I had from when I did electrical and HVAC work, and it's all about reusing stuff, trash, stuff like that that you never know might come in handy. And the reason why I'm showing these to you is I got two of them here, and one's mine and one's my wife's, and I got hers all complete, so I'm going to show hers and show exactly what I got going on here, and then it'll all make a little more sense here for you, okay? Basically what this is, as I said, this was an old electrical terminal box, and what I did was I turned it into a fire box. I know everybody likes to carry personal stuff with them when they're out in the woods and stuff like that, and keep a personal survival kit and things of that nature. However, this isn't necessarily for carrying in your pack and everything. I mean, you can, but this is more, I made this more for our cars. My wife does a lot of traveling. She works for Native American tribes. So, she spends a lot of time out in rural areas. She's a city girl. This is something that can't possibly save your life. Get a fire going. So let me break this open and kind of show you what the contents are here in this bad boy. Of course, I got her a lighter. I got a little sparker here. A couple little birthday candles. A bunch of jute twine. And some tinder that actually came with the sparker there. And just to kind of show you here, I got one here. I've been kind of toying around with and everything. I've never really used these before. They usually come in a lot of the pre-bought kits you get and everything like that. I mainly wanted the little sparker itself. I know some people don't like them, because they're kind of cheapy plastic. But they work actually quite well. And let me see if I can get this bad boy here going. I've kind of already fringed the ends of this, so and you see, boom, just like that. And I'm just blowing it out because there's no point in wasting it. Anyways, needless to say, and it does work. It's easy to use, just like that. I've got a couple of some of the wet fires in here. You just kind of chop it up a little bit there on a corner or whatnot, make it a little dust-like, and that puppy will start right up. With the jute twine, I've got a whole roll here, so if you had time, as far as you're going to be stuck out for time, then you can tear it apart and do exactly what I did here, which is, I've already torn some apart for her to kind of get stuff going for a pre-made bird's nest type situation. Just other stuff that shavings from old stuff. I found some bark on my venture earlier today. It's not from a birch tree, but it was peeling off, and I tried to, just a little piece of it here, I tried it to see how well it would work, and I mean, literally that thing just caught right on. So I figured, hey, as long as it burns and catches on fire easy, it makes great tinder. In this bag and in this whole slot here, of course, I've got some Ranger bands, rather thick Ranger bands down here, because as we all know, those burn as well. You definitely don't want to be right over the fire, of course. Well, you don't want to be right over any fire, but it is rubber, so it's not quite as good. You're going to get black smoke stuff, but they burn, and they burn great in wetness. So this bag here, this is all cattail fluff. I've already processed all of that. This is sat out. This is dried. I've actually had this for about 5 months. So, and I have that set up for both sets. Also, this is just the BSA flint striker, or flint and striker. It's the Boy Scouts of America ferrocerium rod and the striker together. I've had these for mine. I've probably had these for a couple of years, but they're great. They're easy to carry and they're small. They do work. I don't necessarily like the striker as much, but as you can see, it does does work. So I put this in here along with Doan's bar. Doan is the one, you know, I like the Doan's bar the best. The knockoff ones just don't seem to work all that well. You know, it's just a big magnesium bar and has another striker. And then all the little wood you see in here, this is just some wooden dowels that I had left over from another project. And what I did was I cut them up to fit in here. You can get shavings off of it once you get something going. You know, they burn, although kind of fast, they do burn rather easily. So, you know, that'll help get your fire going. I got more bark stuff off of different trees here. This was actually some of the stuff that they use at some of the parks and stuff to fill up, you know, like the little garden areas and stuff. It does not necessarily burn all that well flame-wise, but boy, it sure does give you an ember and a little coal. So it helps keep the heat and sustain it, and that's why I left it in there. I know I'm kind of skipping around. I wanted to cover the bigger stuff here first before I got on the other things. These little smaller spots here. But this is the first fire starters that I made from a recommendation from Intense Angler. And the deal was these are all old newspaper and paper from like your phone book. They were reduced down in boiling water. You know, they simmered for about 20 minutes or so, and then what I did was I pressed them into a cylinder and a cap, and you know, you can see I tore a lot of them apart, roughly about that size, and then I impregnated them with wax. Well, then you got to let it sit, and it takes quite a long time, and that's when I, of course, as you guys seen in my other videos, I went and I made the cookie fire starter. And so I've got one of these here cut up and put in here, and one of the fireballs. So I figure with all of this here, there is no reason, no way you should not have a fire, no matter what. This, I believe, is a pretty good fire starting kit for your car. So even if it's raining, even if it's snowing, you know, rather than having to go out and collect a lot of stuff for your fire in an emergency, because that's what this is for, is emergency. You know, your car breaks down, something like that, and you have to resort to this. This will help you. All you need to do is get your larger wood. This will help get your fire going so that you can have a decent fire. And then, you know, that stuff that may be wet or damp, you have a chance to dry out and warm up if there's another night. You know, and of course you're not going to use all of this all at one time. This is enough here to get several fires started in bad conditions, probably for a week. So thanks for watching. Please rate, comment, and subscribe. Once again, this is Scott. Lions Den saying out.
The only way to bag a classy lady is to give her 2 tickets to the gun show.